So guys, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to use derivatives trade on Bybit. This is a complete guide for beginners where I'm going to take you from A to Z on how to long, how to short trades, and everything else that you need to know without leaving any stone unturned. Let's dive right in. You probably might be wondering what the word derivatives mean. Well, it is still the same as future as you have it on Binance. They only have different names, but it is still the same thing. Also, if you don't have an account, you can register with the first link in the description and get as much as $3,000 bonus on your first deposit if you deposit as much as $100. Now, as you can see on my screen, there are a few icons at the base of this app, but the one we are interested in today is derivatives. This is what it looks like when you click it open. Now, you will notice that this account is currently 0 USDT, and I actually cleared out this account for the sake of those of you that are yet to understand how the app works. So I'm going to demonstrate how to move some funds into your derivatives account for trading. Well, before you can even actually move funds within the app, you must learn how to be able to transfer funds from an external wallet into the app, or you must learn how to do your P2P. Those are the two ways you can actually transfer funds into your account. Now, here it is, 0 USDT. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on this plus icon because I already have some funds. Now, when you click on the plus icon, you are going to see two options. You are going to see transfer and you're going to see deposit. Earlier in the video, I said something about transferring funds from an external source into your Bybit account. I was actually talking about the deposits. It is actually straightforward. So now I'm going to hit on transfer, and the funds that I have is actually located in my funding account. So what I'm going to do now, I want to transfer it from my funding account into my unified trading account. If I actually had the money in my unified account and I wanted to move it into my funding account, all I just have to do is click on this middle icon and then it's going to swap the positions. But then let's assume that I opened this up and then this was how it appeared. What I'm supposed to do in that case is to swap it so it shows from funding account to unified trading account. So now what I want to do next is, what am I transferring from my funding account into my unified trading account? So guys, what you need to know is, in derivatives trade, every single market you open, you are always trading a crypto against the USDT. For every single market that you get into, it is always a certain cryptocurrency against the USDT. The USDT on Bybit trade is a stable coin. Now, I have my USDT sitting in my funding account already. So what I want to do now is I'm going to hit on max, and then it's going to display the entire amount of USDT I have sitting in my funding account. And what I want to do now is I'm going to click on confirm, and then it is going to move in everything I have into my unified trading account. And guys, make no mistake, unified trading account is a new upgrade on Bybit. They improved the algorithm to be able to merge every single trading platform they have within their app. So if I want to spot trade, I can use the unified account. If I want to take my derivatives trade, I can also use the unified account. For those of you that are using the old Bybit account and you've not upgraded yet, this isn't how it's going to appear. But for those of you that just opened a fresh account, this is exactly how you are going to see it on your screen. Before we are having 0 USDT, but right now we are having 42 USDT. Looking at the screen right now, you can tell that there's so much going on right now, and it seems somewhat complicated to those of you that are yet to get familiar with it. Over here, we have the charts and then we have the trade. I'm going to start with the charts. So over here, when you click on the chart, you are going to see Sol USDT. It is called a trading pair, where you pair whatever crypto you want to trade against the USDT. Remember earlier in the video I said you are going to be pairing every single coin you want to trade against the USDT. So it could be Sol USDT, it could be ETC USDT, it could be BTC USDT, and the likes of them. So over here at the right side, you'll notice 24H high, 24H low, and 24H turnover. What 24H high simply means is the highest amount that Sol has gotten to in the last 24 hours, while 24 hours low is the lowest amount that Sol has gotten in the last 24 hours, while 24H turnover is the entire amount of Sol that has been traded in the last 24 hours. On your screen right now, over here, you're going to see that there is this green and red sticks hanging everywhere. They are actually called candlesticks. You could view this in different time frames. Each of these sticks represents each time frame that you've selected to view them in. Now let me explain what I mean by that. If you set this right now at a 1 hour time frame, which is currently a 1 hour time frame right now, it shows how each candlesticks is doing every single hour. Same thing goes for a day. When you set it to a day, it shows how this crypto has been doing. Every single candlesticks, it doesn't matter if it's the red or the green, every single candlesticks that you see actually represents each day since Sol has been performing. On this chart here, this is where you get to do your technical analysis. Technical analysis as in your indicator, your support and resistance, trend lines, and the likes of them. You probably must have been seeing people drawing different things on the charts. The tools for drawing those things that you see are also here. Over here is a pencil icon. When you click it open, you are going to see some icons pop down. The first icon you are seeing right now is actually called the trend line. The second is actually called the angle. The third is called the arrow, and every other icon you are seeing right here. For the sake of time, I won't be able to just explain each of them, but I'm going to demonstrate how to use each of these. The first three, let's assume that you've already learned your technical analysis and you want to use each of these tools to analyze the market. So what you're going to do, for example, let's try using the trend line. I'm going to click on the trend line right now. You can actually view it like this, landscape mode, to get a better view. So now, when you click on trend line, which is the first icon, you can just zoom in like this. You can take it to where you want to draw your trend line. By the time you get there, you double tap and then you draw your trend line like this, and then you tap it out, and then you have your trend line right here. And now, let's assume you want to use your angle. You've gotten where you want to place your angle. All you just need to do is click the angle, take it to where you want to place it, double tap it, and you can place your angle wherever you want to place your angle. To actually stop drawing the angle, you click where you stopped once, and then you've created your angle, so you can move it wherever you want to move it. Now, for the next, which is arrow, you can also create arrow by double tapping, taking it to the position where you want to create your arrow, double tapping and creating your arrow. When you extend it to the point you want to extend it, you click on the last edge, and then there you have your arrow created. Now, swiping down a little bit, when you look closely at the base of the chart, you're going to see something like MA, EMA, BOLN, and the likes of them. What exactly do all this mean? These are actually called indicators. These indicators will help you analyze the market before taking a trade. And we have different types. We have the MA, it's actually called moving average. We have the BOLL, which is actually called the Bollinger Band, and the likes of them. We have the EMA, the MAC, the SAR, the Marvel. Currently, my moving average is on, my EMA is on, and my Marvel is on. When I click on Marvel, you're going to notice a change. Click on EMA, you're going to notice a change. Click on MA, you're going to notice a change. These are tools called indicators that you can use to analyze your market, basically. Let's swipe up a little and clicking on trade right now. We are currently having the SOL USDT pair, and I'm going to demonstrate how you can trade a SOL USDT pair. But before we do that, I will have to analyze every single segment of what is appearing on your screen right now. Now, let's talk about leveraging. What is leveraging? Leveraging is simply borrowing money that you do not have in order to multiply your return on investment. That is how derivatives actually work. It works on leveraging. So I have $10, but then I want to make more profits because I can predict the market, right? I can borrow some more money from Bybit and make more profits for every time Solana goes up. The same thing applies to when I want to predict the downward trend of Solana. I can decide to borrow some money from Bybit and then take my trade on the downtrend. So for every time Solana goes down, I make profit on that trade. Now, let's assume I want to long. Looking at your screen right now, you're going to notice that you see buy and sell. Now, in the world of derivative or futures, buy is also referred to as long, while sell is also referred to as short. Now, when someone says, I want to long SOL, for example, the person is actually saying, I want to buy SOL using a futures trade to increase the margin and get more profit from it. Basically, that's what the person is saying. And if the person says, I want to short SOL, the person is simply saying, I want to make profits off of SOL for every time it dips. So short simply means sell, while long means buy. Over here, you see isolated. When you click it open, you are going to be seeing some options. But what you are interested in right now is the isolated margin and the cross margin. So, but our advice to those of you that just want to start trading on derivatives to only use isolated. Why is this? There's a very huge downside about trading derivatives. If the trade goes against your prediction, you can end up losing your entire money that you have in your wallet. But a way to avoid losing the entire money that you have in your wallet is by setting it at isolated. So when it gets liquidated, the only fund that will get liquidated is a fund that you used in taking the trade. Every other fund that you have everywhere else in that account is safe. But when you use cross margin, it's a different case. By the time the market starts going against your prediction and it has gotten to a point where it's supposed to get liquidated, it will start borrowing funds from other places in that account that you have and keep the trade going until it wipes out every single fund that you have on that account. So guys, what exactly do we mean by liquidation? Liquidation is just you losing your entire fund if the market goes down. And one thing about liquidation is that the higher you set your margin, the higher the chances of liquidation, basically. Now, if you leverage 20x with $100, that's equal to $2,000. Now, for 10x, if you set your leverage at 10x, every time it moves up by 1%, you make 10% profit. And for 20x, every time it moves up by 2%, you make 40% profit. Now, your profit simply means your leverage times the increase or decrease in percentage of the market that you're taking, depending if you are longing or you are shorting. To be clear, shorting simply means predicting a downtrend and making profits if the market goes down, while longing means predicting an uptrend and making profits if the market goes up. But the downside is that the higher your leverage is, the close it is to liquidation. It won't take much to liquidate your fund if you increase your leverage so high. So it is advisable to start with at most 20x leverage as a beginner. Now you click on save and OK. Now at the right side of the screen, you'll see some numbers in red and green. It is called order book. They are simply trades that are currently happening at the moment. So if I take a $200 trade, it will be indicated here the exact time I took the trade. Now over here is the other type. When you click it open, you see we have the limits, the market, conditional, and the likes of them. But I mostly use limits and order. Now limit allows you to enter a trade at a marked price you chose, while market allows you to enter a trade instantly. It allows you enter at the current price. Now, over here we have your TP and SL. What does TP mean and what does SL mean? TP simply means take profit, while SL means stop loss. Now, I'm going to take a trade so I can be able to open my TP and SL to show you how it looks like on the inside. Now, what you're going to do is, do I want to long SOL or I want to short SOL? Currently, SOL is moving up and I might make some little profits by taking an upward movement trade, which is longing. So currently, I'm going to click on long. So what I'm going to do first now is I'm going to select the margin that I want, which is 20x margin. And do I want it isolated or cross? Obviously, I want isolated because I want to be safe. It is actually good to be safe when you are taking a trade. Now, what I want to do now is, do I intend to buy instantly? Yes. So I'm going to leave it at market. Now, the next thing I want to do, how much do I want to trade? Now, how much do I want to trade now that I'm trading on the 20x leverage? If I trade on $200, over here you're going to see 9.94. So I'm actually trading with approximately 10 USDT, but then this is allowing me to trade with as much as 200 USDT. So you can see the beauty in trading derivatives. So now that I've selected this, what I want to do next is I'm going to click on my TP and SA right now. Do I want to long or short? So I'm going to select if I want to long or short. I want to long actually, so I'm going to leave it here at long. Now, how do I want to trigger my price? There are several ways you can trigger your price. You can trigger your price by ROI. You can trigger your price by change in percentage. you can trigger your price by P and L, profit and loss, which is the amount of USDT you want to make. But I would advise to leave it at ROI. Now that you've selected that, what does take profit mean? So I'm going to set it to a point where by the time it gets to that point, it is going to automatically remove your money and you're going to make some profit as long as it crosses that amount, that certain amount that you set for it to cross. By the time Solana gets to 180, it's going to take the profit and leave the market automatically. But for stop loss, when the market starts going against you, you can actually set it to a point where by the time it gets to that point, it is going to take you out of the market so you don't lose your entire money. For example, if I set the stop loss at 175, by the time it gets to 175, it is going to pull me out of that market so I don't get to lose all the money that I've invested into it. Now, over here, what I want to do is I'm going to type in the amount that I want. I'm going to set the price that I want it to get to before it takes profit for me. So I'm going to say 180. So I'll be making a total of 27% profit if it gets to 180, and then it's going to pull out. Now, over here at the stop loss region, I'm going to set a price that when it gets to that price, when it goes against my trade and it gets to that price, it is going to pull me out so I don't get to lose too much funds. So I'm going to set 176 over here, and then I'm going to only lose 17% instead of the entire portfolio if it gets to 176. Now that I've done that, I'm going to hit on done and I'm going to hit on confirm. So now it has gotten to this point. So now that it is set, what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to just click on buy. So by the time I click on buy, since I'm using markets, it is going to buy automatically when I click on confirm. So you can get to check your position here. I'm currently making some profit. I've made about 15 cents, 20 cents, moving about 1.88%. So I'm currently making sense. So when I click on order, it is going to show the trigger price, the TP price, and the SL price that I've set in the position that I'm taking. I hope I've been able to explain how derivatives actually work. So guys, that will be the end of today's video, and I'll see you in the next video. But until then, bye for now.